Occupational hazards. Many professionals deal with them on a daily basis. But I can't help but wonder if at this point we're focusing on the wrong occupation when it comes to the hazards that are faced each day. A study released last week concluded that 87 of 91 deceased NFL players that offered their brains to science tested positive for CTE. That's the brain disease that transforms the men you root wildly for on Sundays into mental shells of their former selves. Men that feel so desperate for relief from the symptoms of the cumulative concussions suffered throughout their career that death, even at their own hands, seems like a better alternative. While I feel sympathetic to a degree for the families of those who have taken their own lives, I often think some perspective needs to be brought to the issue. This isn't 20 years ago. It isn't even 10 years ago. If you're playing football for a paycheck, you know the score. You know the risks. My sympathy quotient has waned a great deal as a result. Every day seems to bring a new story in the football concussion problem that hounds not just the NFL, but the sport of American football in general. Let me help spell it out for those playing football for a paycheck many of us couldn't even dream of seeing. If you choose to play this game, then there's the realistic chance you could come out of it far different than you did going into it. Slurred speech, dementia, depression could be a big part of your future. If it's a gamble, as a professional football player, you choose to take for however long you decide to play the game. You may come out of the game just fine, with an ability to enjoy the millions you've amassed throughout your career. Or you may come out of it slurping peace through a straw. But it's now a conscious choice more than ever before. If you're a NASCAR driver and you choose to drive close to 200 miles per hour alongside vehicles driving the same speeds around a sloped oval track, you could wind up dead. You know the risks hopping into that car every week. No amount of safety in the NFL or NASCAR is going to take those risks away. You want to play? You could pay. Now I'm going to get on my moral high horse for a minute here. Instead of talking about heavily compensated athletes and the occupational hazards they face while earning millions each year, why don't we spend more time as a public showing our concern for those in jobs making far less money with far greater mortality rates than the football players we rightly or wrongly worship every weekend. Truckers, farmers, construction workers face far greater risks 5+ days a week and make far less than the football players you gawk at every weekend. How much thought do you give them? All they do is deliver, grow the produce, and construct the buildings you grab the produce from. And while police in America have often been maligned in recent months, and in some cases rightly so, we often give little thought to the many men and women in uniform who are doing the right thing while helping to keep us safe, yet lose their lives in senseless manners each and every day. You don't walk around at your favorite sports bar with their name on your back, do you? The same goes for fire and EMS, keeping you safe while paying the ultimate price. And all of these people that I've mentioned have something in common. They make millions less than the professional athletes whose safety concerns get plastered all over the front pages of websites and newspapers on a seamlessly endless loop. So keep that in mind when you let out an expletive this weekend, as your favorite player gets walked off the field after spraining an ankle, carrying a pigskin for a 6- or 7-figure salary. This is the Back Page.